Okay, another question that Spencer submitted. Are the new products and features being branded as AI, are they truly AI? Are they truly artificial intelligence? Short answer is no. I feel like oftentimes the tech world will latch onto terminology from science fiction, the science fiction canon, right? Whether it be books or movies or TV shows or what have you. And then tries to use the branding, if you will, or like the positive associations with that word or that tech within that story and capitalize on it. And sometimes they're so stupid they don't realize you're not supposed to like that piece of tech, like with the metaverse, where everyone was hailing the metaverse. That term comes from a book where the metaverse in the story is painted as like this dystopian thing. And artificial intelligence is no exception. So, going back actually for a second, so another example of a tech like that, and maybe this isn't really the same thing, and maybe I'm just getting really up in arms about it for no reason. It really bothered me when they invented like those, I don't even know how you would describe it. They're like, not a skateboard, but essentially they call them hoverboards. But really you're just standing, it's almost like a Segway without the handle. That's not a hoverboard. You're just using the name hoverboard because people have always wanted hoverboards. A hoverboard is a board that hovers. That's just a Segway without a big pole. You just have to balance on it. It's not hovering. It's rolling. It has wheels. Anyway, I don't know why I'm getting so worked up about this, but that's my point. I feel like AI is in the same camp because when you're reading science fiction, you're thinking about artificial intelligence as intelligence that is artificial. Doesn't mean that it's lesser intelligence. It just means that it's not organic brain matter intelligence, right? And to me, and I think to a lot of philosophers or philosophy in general, is like intelligence or sentience or whatever you want to call it is something that perceives the world and creates new and original thoughts. The idea being is that the whole is more than the sum of its parts. In that, the thing about our artificial intelligence is that it's not really thinking. ChatGPT is just Google autofill on steroids. It has ingested trillions of documents of data and has scanned it and learned it all. So when you ask it a question, it's not thinking. It's just trying to predict what's the right word to say one after the other based off the prompts that you've given it. And based off of all the data that it's ingested, right? So there's no thinking. It truly is just the sum of its parts. It's a very impressive sum, but ultimately it's not more than the sum of its parts. It's like this 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing. This spark of inspiration that, ChatGPT will never come up with a novel idea. It might come up with an idea you've never seen, but by definition, all it's doing is pulling from things it's already read. Some would argue, well, isn't that what humans do? We're just the sum of our experiences. I would argue no. I think there's something. And if you're religious, that's your soul or God. If you're not religious, something about higher intelligence, right? If you just want to look at it from a scientific standpoint. So to answer your question, so long story short, no, I don't think that AI is truly AI. Just because it's not intelligent, right? It doesn't have the eye of AI. Now, will that arrive? Who knows, right? Because AI is getting exponentially better. Not smarter, but better, right? Because we shouldn't use the word smart because it's not thinking in the way we're using that word, right? At what point does the sum just become the whole? At what point is there, and they talk about this, the point of singularity, right? At what point of quality does it flip over, right? And this is a deep existential philosophical question that no one's been able to answer, so I surely am not going to be able to do it on Cinnamon QSO Notes on the News, right? But, it's like the thing with like a child. Like a baby is not truly sentient in the way we mean it. An adult is, theoretically. At what point did the sentience turn on? I would wager, I don't think it turned on. I think it's like a fog, and as you get older, the fog gradually starts to clear. It's not like this moment, here they were not sentient, and now all of a sudden, now this human being is sentient. And has rational free will and all this stuff, right? So perhaps artificial intelligence will be like that, in that it's wrong for me to say that ChatGPT is not thinking, but rather it is at such a basic level that it is as it gets better, is slowly sharpening the image, right? It's like a camera lens being out of focus, and it's like the visual information's still there, it's just not being processed correctly yet. But maybe as the technology gets better and better, it's like we slowly start to focus in to the point where the sharpness is there. There's really no binary moment of not sharp and not sharp. It's like this spectrum. So, could AI become intelligent? Yes, I think so. Is it now? No. And that's the end of that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.